America. This is the only organization which celebrate not only Indian tradition, but anybody comes in this country, we give the platform. This association give the platform. Whether it is a religious, social, political, any event is happening, our association become a bridge between the people, Indian people, Asian people, to the people who come from India. And I always say in my speech, the Albert Palace is a gateway of India. So whether it is a prime minister, whether it is an actor, whether it is a religious leader, spiritual leader, anyone comes, they have to pass through the Albert Palace. So we are so fortunate that any event comes or anybody comes from anywhere, Albert and Sobhanaji and Dinesh Bhai, they open up this facility. So let's give a big hand first of all. Albert, Sobhanaji and Dinesh Bhai, they are always with the community, help the community, no question asked. So thank you, Albert. I'm not taking your much time, but Icona, he's our chairman actually. Albert Jasani is a chairman of this association. And whether it is a fundraising, whether it is a disaster, as I said, it is a politics or religious or social, any gathering, Icona come forward and do this event. So this event is happening like under the Icona with the help of Sastry Foundation USA. So thank you for giving us a time. You have come and we are so fortunate to have you here. Let's give a big hand to Anil Sastry. And I would first welcome our guest. So I ask Honorable Anil Sastry ji and Manju ji to come and we are going to honor with bouquet of flower, and we have a shawl also. So we are going to offer the shawl. Rekha ji is giving to the Manju ji the second half.
फ्यूचर प्राइम मिनिस्टर की वाइफ हैं
Yeah.
और मैं ओएसडी याद रखिए.
So, and Shobhana ji, I request Shobhana ji to give a shawl to her. Yeah. Thank you. Let's give a big hand. And I give a bouquet to Albert to present a flower bouquet. Albert to give to our beloved guest tonight, Honorable Anil Sastry ji. Thank you. So I'm not taking much of time. I would like to introduce first, before I introduce my committee as Icona, I request Albert to say a few words because he is also busy, so many things. But whenever is happening any event, he comes. He makes sure everything is okay, food is okay, banquet hall is set, they get the room. So he makes sure. So I give this mic to Albert Jasani.
First, thank you very much for coming. Short notice, and the Kashiwala is doing the great job to put everybody together. And I don't know, I'm not I didn't go to college or school too much, but I was thinking, what do I know about the Sastry ji? So I know few words from the newspaper. जो 18 साल में नहीं हुआ वो 18 months में कर बताया. I think there was some article in a newspaper, and I saw the picture. He was taking the shower, simple way, That's all I know. But he was the great, the Prime Minister of India, and we should honoring him, his son. So really, thank you very much for coming, and I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert. Albert always sweet, short speech, but big heart. So let's give a big hand again to Albert. Before I go further, I would like to introduce my committee, the people A lot of people, they just first time. So I request all the ICONA members, please come. Let people see it, our team. Monty, Dominic, Rizvi, Himanshu, our founder member, Ram Gadulaji, then Junaid Kazi. Junaid, please come. Let me introduce Junaid. He made a history. Like two guys in our community, ICONA particularly, they are the founder of ICONA, Indian American Community of North America. So Anilji, two people made the history in the politics of New Jersey. One person called Viru Patel, he became a councilman with the help of Albert also. But he broke all the record of Woodbridge Township. This is a township of Woodbridge, which falls under so many small towns. So it becomes a municipality, like township. So he got highest vote, first Gujarati. And today, second term and third term also, no one dare to run against him. So that is also our founder member. The second thing, second person is called Junaid Kazi. He also a founder member. He made a history of Marlborough Township. First time any Indian, Asian Indian become a council, and not only a council, but he become a head of council. So we are so proud to have a Junaid with us. I give this mic, even Ram Gadula, come, Dominic. So our association belongs to all the ethnic group of India, and which it brings the bonding, like what is called unity. That's how we are doing this event. So I'm not taking much of your time. Let me give this mic to our founder member, Junaid Kazi from ICONA.
Thank you, Mukesh bhai. I'm very happy today to see Anil Kumar Shastri Saab back in US again. You know, humbleness start and end on him. He is so wonderful and so humble man. You know, I know him for last maybe 10 years, and it was so nice of him. Whenever I go to Delhi, he opened his arm, and I go and visit him and enjoy talking to him every single time. And you know, it's a blessing on all the Indians. His father, Lal Bahadur Shastri Saab, who made the history of the humbleness. What a prime minister. And now you see all the prime ministers coming and going, and what a aura of the prime minister. But the simplicity of his father was amazing. India was built on the people like him. And I saw his Fiat car. You know, he has the Fiat car still in this, what is the place called that? Yeah, the memorial, yeah. Yeah, so in memorial, he has a lot of stuff of his memory. So whenever anybody from US should go and visit Lal Bahadur Shastri Memorial place, beautiful location, and you will enjoy tea with Anil Kumar Shastri Saab like I always do. So thank you very much for coming and giving us the time. And Madam Shastri is here. Thank you very much. You know, this is our blessing. The people are like him here. They are here, and then we will be honored to serve you more in whatever capacity. I mean, you saw how Indians are united in America, and whatever we're doing, we always remember India with us. Regardless, it's in a politics, in a business, but we cannot leave India from our heart. India is always in our heart. And, you know, it will remain in our heart till we die. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ram bhai. Thank you.
So I'm moving forward because it's the weekdays and people have to go. So I request after this, Rajendra Ichpuli, with the help of him, this program has been possible to make this event. And I'm associated with this gentleman so many years, but he has a wish and ambition to start something under the foundation like a Sastry Foundation. So he's going to speak a little bit about what could be the next has to be done with the help of you guys also, and a vision of Rajendra Tichipuli.
Thank you. First of all, I thank Anil Shastri ji for giving us this time, and a warm welcome to his family, especially his wife Manju ji and his relatives here. Thank you so much for joining us. And sir, it's an honor that you are spending time with us. Shastri ji had visited US in 2012, and that's when we got to know him. And as Junaid said, what an amazing and simple man is. A son of a legendary leader, and yet he himself is very accomplished. He was a former union minister, very honest, one of the rarest breed of politicians in today's India, who's very honest and very humble. So it's an honor to be associated with you. And he had sent me Shastri ji's live video, and it was such inspirational life our former Prime Minister had led. And this had prompted me to start the Shastri Foundation 4 years back. And we haven't been doing much, but I would like to say that where's Balaji? Balaji had worked with me in presenting Shastri ji's portrait to the Indian Consulate, and we gave it to the Consul General, Randeep Jaiswal, and he promised that he will put it in the Indian Consulate. We have to now formalize that process also and ensure it's put in a proper place. So Shastri Foundation also has invited, along with the Gandhi and King Foundation, we have invited Shastri ji for a peace summit in UN next year. We hope Shastri ji, Anil ji will join us. And we also plan to have a photo exhibition with friends like Mukesh Kashiwala and others on the life of Shastri ji. And I also requested Albert Jasani here to have a nice portrait and of Shastri ji in this hall, because it has a beautiful statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. I think Shastri ji also deserves a place in this very august location, and I'm sure we will get it done. So thank you so much, and we look forward to working with many Indian organizations in taking forward the Shastri Foundation's objectives and the type of politics that he practiced, because that is what we need to make India a more better place in today's world. So thank you so much, Mukesh ji, for working with me, and thank you all for coming on a very busy Wednesday. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajendra ji. This organization always been so many years. We give a credit and we give the honor every year, or whenever we do the program, we honor like a couple of individuals. So today, our committee has decided to have two honorary today. I'm going to give microphone to Ram Gadulaji to give the introduction to our honorary, and then the next one, the person who has to give the introduction for the honorary, he is on the way. If he's not, then I'll introduce him. So let me give our founder member, Ram Gadulaji, to introduce one of the awardees.
Thank you, Mukesh bhai. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce one of the awardees tonight. He is Dr. Janardhan Bullu. He is from here, local community. He lives in Edison, and he's been serving in Middlesex County for many years. He's graduated from Gandhi Medical College, Usmania University, in 1978. and he served the Indian community from 1978 to 1985 in various capacities. He helped many students along the way, and he has been, providing, tuition for the people in India when he was working in India. He has been socially very involved, and he promoted education among the weakest. And he moved into US in 1985. He joined UMDNJ. Majority of you may not know UMDNJ. I think it has changed now. University for Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, associated with, and it's located in Newark, New Jersey. He was awarded the American Association Fellowship, and he worked on low molecular weight heparin. Later completed his medical residency, and he has achieved GI Fellowship, gastroenterologist, at UMDNJ in 1996. Since then, he's been practicing both internal medicine and GI in Passaic and Middlesex counties, and he's been working here for 30 years. He works almost, like 24/7, I can say. You can call him, he takes care of his patients. He doesn't matter whether it's a VIP or VVIP or a common man, he attends to everybody. And he has been participating in many social camps, and he has been associated with many religious temples in and around New Jersey, and he has been a good participant in the community services, including medical camps. And it's my pleasure today to introduce Dr. Janardhan Ballu garu. Please.
Please come. And I request Honorable Anilji to come here. And I request all the Mata, they belong to the South Indian community, so I request also to join Mata member, the founder and the president, to join also. Come inside. This one side.
Thank you.
I request Dr. Sahab to say a few words on this. Thank you.
I'm glad I met Anilji because I know his father. As a child, I went to Delhi along with my aunt, who was a Lok Sabha MP at that time. So I met Lal Bahadur Shastriji. He was my role model. And I'm happy that I met his son in USA. Yeah. He is a role model for all the children and all the adults. He lived to his name. And I thank Icona for calling me and inviting me and recognizing me. I'm just a drop in the ocean. There are a lot of Indians. We are doing a lot of things, lot of services. And I think we should all come together and we should continue our services. Not only here, but we should also support our back home, all the charity work and services. Thank you.
Thank you. We are so humbled to honor you. The Icona will remember this. Moving forward, the person who's supposed to give the introduction of Ashok Ojaji, the second awardee. Ashok Bhai ko एक हिंदी में 2-3 शब्द बोल दो, बाद में यू गिव द इंट्रोडक्शन. यू डोंट नीड द इंट्रोडक्शन. एक्चुअली ये कंट्री में हिंदी लैंग्वेज वाज वेरी टफ इन दिस कंट्री एंड पीपल वेयर, बहुत लोग ऐसे थे कि तो हिंदी भाषी थे जो समझते नहीं थे, और खास करके यहाँ की जो सिस्टम है, अमेरिकन सिस्टम, इंग्लिश, और दे वर फेसिंग द डिफिकल्टीज, वेदर इट इज अ कोर्ट मैटर, यूनिवर्सिटी, कम्युनिकेशन. तो गाड़ी तो पटरी पे आ गई थी हिंदी के लिए, लेकिन उसको वेग देने के लिए अगर कोई किसी ने काम किया ये कंट्री में तो अशोक ओझा ने किया है. मतलब he introduced to so many schools make a syllabus of हिंदी. उनकी एक संस्था है हिंदी युवा संस्थान हिंदी. और अमेरिका में अगर हिंदी कोई भी स्कूल या तो कॉलेज में अगर नाम दिया जाता है तो अशोक ओझा का नाम फ्रंट लाइन पे है. तो इट इज़ आवर ऑनर कि भाई हम आज उनको ऑनर कर रहे हैं उनकी सर्विस के लिए, खास करके हिंदी लैंग्वेज की जो उनकी पैशन है. मैंने आज उनके साथ 10-15 मिनट तो काफ़ी देर बात किया. काफ़ी चीज़ें हैं, उनकी लिस्ट इतनी लंबी है कि वो बोलते हैं कि मेरे को अगर स्पीच देनी है तो आधा घंटा देना पड़ेगा. मैंने बोला भाई मेन स्पीकर आज अनिल जी है, उनसे थोड़ा कम बोलना. तो उनको 10 मिनट दिया है. तो let we hear from him and then we are going to give the honor. So एक तालियों से उनका स्वागत करें. आ जाइए अशोक जी. प्रोफेसर है, प्रोफेसर कभी माइक छोड़ते नहीं है, और पॉलिटिशियन, दो पीपल. अशोक जी, it's an our honor. I gonna give you honor, and it's not your honor but our honor to honor you. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुकेश भाई, आदरणीय अनिल शास्त्री जी, श्रीमती शास्त्री, और यहाँ के अधिकांश लोग जो मुझे जानते हैं, मैं पहचानता हूँ. आप सबके सामने जो मुकेश जी ने ये सम्मान दिया है उसके लिए मैं कैसे उसको चुका सकता हूँ ये मैं नहीं जानता. मुझे मालूम था कि आज से करीब 12 साल पहले हमने जब हिंदी शिक्षा का काम शुरू किया था तो ऐसा लगता था कि हमारी बात सुनने वाला कोई नहीं है. यानी आप हिंदी की बात करें तो लोग भाग जाते थे, दूर चले जाते थे. लेकिन ऐसे लोग थे मुकेश भाई, जुनेद भाई और राजेंद्र, ऐसे लोगों को के साथ ज़्यादा समय बिताने से ये मालूम पड़ा कि अपनी भाषा और अपनी संस्कृति के लिए जो हमारे दिल में जगह है उसको कोई बदल नहीं सकता. ज़रूरत है उसको और बढ़ावा देने की, उकसाने की. तो यही कार्य हमने किया है. तो संक्षेप में, जब मैं ज़्यादा बोलूँ तो भूल हो दीजिएगा. संक्षेप में बात यह है कि जब मैं अमेरिका, मैं तो आजीवन हिंदी में ही लिखता रहा, पत्रकार था भारत में. यहाँ पर 1995 में आया पढ़ने के लिए. तो मुझे लगा कि बिना अंग्रेजी के काम चलने वाला नहीं है, अंग्रेजी सीख लो अशोक. तो मैंने थोड़ा बहुत लिखना पढ़ना सीख लिया न्यूयॉर्क यूनिवर्सिटी में. उसके बाद कुछ मौके मिले अंग्रेजी में लिखने के लिए, तो मुझे लगा कि अभी अंग्रेजी में ही करना पड़ेगा. मैंने 15 साल की उम्र में एक प्रतिज्ञा की थी कि अपने हस्ताक्षर को हिंदी में करूँगा, लेकिन उस प्रतिज्ञा को मैं बदलना पड़ा, मुझे अंग्रेजी में लिखना शुरू किया. लेकिन संजोग की बात यह है, और ये जानकर आप लोगों को बहुत खुशी होगी और आश्चर्य होगा, कि अमेरिकी सरकार ने एक कार्यक्रम शुरू किया. उसका नाम था स्टार्ट टॉक. भारतीय कौंसलावास में उसके बारे में मीटिंग हो रही थी. तो मैंने पूछा कि क्या ये स्टार्ट टॉक से कुछ आजीविका हो सकती है, तो मुझे उसका कोई उत्तर नहीं मिला. लेकिन मैंने कहा कि ये मौका ऐसा है कि हमें देखना चाहिए कि इसका क्या नतीजा होता है. तो हमने स्टार्ट टॉक कार्यक्रम के लिए प्रस्ताव भेजा, और प्रस्ताव भी जिसको भेजा आप लोग पसंद नहीं करेंगे, राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा एजेंसी. क्योंकि हिंदी इस देश के लिए एक क्रिटिकल लैंग्वेज है. उनकी भाषा में, व्हाइट हाउस की जो लैंग्वेज है, क्रिटिकल लैंग्वेज फॉर बिजनेस, कॉमर्स एंड नेशनल सिक्योरिटी. यानी कि राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा का मामला भाषा से जुड़ा हुआ है. उसके तहत ये ग्रांट मंजूर होता है. तो स्टार्ट टॉक हमने किया 2010 में, और मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ जो केन विश्वविद्यालय में प्रेसिडेंट थे डॉक्टर फराही, अफगान मूल के, वो खुद हिंदी बोलते थे। उन्होंने कहा कि अशोक अगर ये सरकार पैसे नहीं देगी तो मैं दूंगा, तुम चालू करो। मुझे बहुत ही उससे प्रोत्साहन मिला और इस प्रकार केन विश्वविद्यालय में पहली बार हिंदी का पाठ्यक्रम शुरू हो गया। और उसके बाद अगले साल फिर से मुझे ग्रांट मिला प्रस्ताव। और आपको बताना चाहता हूँ, मुझे गौरवान्वित हूँ कि साल दर साल 2012, 13, 14, अभी अलग बात है कि केन में शुरू किया, फिर हमने मिसेस काउंटी में पढ़ाया। उसके बाद मैंने देखा कि पेंसिल्वेनिया में तो कुछ नहीं, बिल्कुल बंजर ज़मीन है। तो वहाँ के नॉर्थ पेन स्कूल डिस्ट्रिक्ट में वहाँ के स्टूडेंट से बात की और वहाँ हमने प्रारंभ किया 2013, 14, 15, इस प्रकार 2021 तक, जब तक ये स्टार्टअप कार्यक्रम चलता रहा, हमने ये कार्यक्रम किए। यहाँ तक कि 2016, 17, 18 में हमने फ्रैंकलिन में भी किया, एक कार्यक्रम पेंसिल्वेनिया में और एक कार्यक्रम न्यू जर्सी में होता था। मुझे ये कहते हुए बहुत ही गर्व हो रहा है कि जो हिंदी भाषी परिवार के लोग थे उनसे काफ़ी मुझे संघर्ष करना पड़ता था, लेकिन जो गैर हिंदी भाषी परिवार थे पेंसिल्वेनिया में, उनके बच्चे इतने आज्ञाकारी और इतनी ज़्यादा सीखने के लिए तत्पर होते थे कि आज मैं गिनती करता हूँ, हर साल बच्चों को पढ़ाते पढ़ाते करीब 1500 बच्चे, यानी कि लगभग 3000 परिवारों में वहाँ पर हिंदी का हमने प्रचार किया। और वहाँ जो कम्युनिटी है लैंसडेल में, वहाँ के लगभग सभी लोग तेलुगु भाषी हैं और वो सब मुझे जानते हैं। लेकिन हुआ ये कि कोविड के आने के साथ साथ स्टार्टअप भी खत्म हो गया। तो अब हम क्या करें, हमने ऑनलाइन कार्यक्रम शुरू किया है, हमने हिंदी का काम छोड़ा नहीं। और आज आपके सामने मैं खड़ा हूँ। 2021 में अमेरिकी सरकार के शिक्षा विभाग ने हमारी संस्था को, युवा हिंदी संस्थान को, इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर हायर एजुकेशन इसका दर्जा दिया। ये क्यों दिया? क्योंकि उन्होंने कहा कि यहाँ जो भाषा सिखाने वाले लोग हैं उनको कल्चरल बैकग्राउंड देना चाहिए, और यही फुलब्राइट हेज का मैंडेट था। तो मैंने प्रस्ताव लिखा, कोई 40 पेज का प्रस्ताव था। उसमें ये लिखा कि हम भारत में हिंदी सिखाएंगे और हिंदी क्यों सिखा रहे हैं ये भी बताएंगे उनको। और इसके अलावा जो आज की विश्व की समस्याएं हैं, जैसे कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग, उसके बारे में हमारे देश में क्या हुआ है, हमारे कल्चर में क्या हुआ है, उसकी हम जानकारी देंगे। तो 2021 में फुलब्राइट हेज नामक पुरस्कार हमको प्राप्त हुआ। न्यूयॉर्क यूनिवर्सिटी के साथ मिलकर के हमने काम किया। और मुझे ये कहते हुए बहुत ही गर्व हो रहा है कि इस वर्ष पुनः दूसरी बार ये फुलब्राइट हेज मिला है। और अनिल जी के बारे में तो मैं हमेशा बात करता रहता हूँ राजा से, और मेरी योजना ये है कि हम जब जाएंगे फ्लोरिडा में तो यहाँ के 15 शिक्षकों को और छात्रों को लेकर जाएंगे और बनारस, ऋषिकेश, कलकत्ता, वहाँ के आज के जीवन से एक परिचय देंगे और उनको थोड़ा सा ट्रेन करेंगे कि हमारे कल्चर में क्या है, ऐसी चीज़ जो कि यहाँ लोगों को मालूम होती है। उदाहरण के लिए जमाने से राजस्थान में बोर्डिंगों की परंपरा थी, जो कि यहाँ पर नहीं है। यहाँ पर लोग बड़े बड़े डैम बनाकर पानी जमा कर रहे हैं, ये सब चल रहा है। तो मैं जानता हूँ, मैं थोड़ा समय दूंगा, 2 मिनट और। मेरी श्रीमती जी जो मुझे साथ दे रही हैं, वो हमेशा दे नहीं रही है, बोलते तो मैं अब 2 मिनट और दे रहा हूँ आपको सिर्फ। तो हमने ये बताया कि हमारे परंपरागत जो रिवाज है, रीति रिवाज में कैसे जलवायु परिवर्तन की समस्या का समाधान होता रहा है। तो ये किया हमने। अब इस बार हमने क्या करना है कि कैसे हमारी संस्कृति में माइंडफुलनेस, यानी कि हम कैसे किसी चीज़ को कर ले आपस में एक दूसरे की मदद से और स्वस्थ रहें बिना किसी दारू हम कहते हैं दवाई, लेकिन मुख्य रूप से उसका ड्रग से मतलब है। भारत, अमेरिका में हर 10वां विद्यार्थी ड्रग एडिक्ट है। तो इस समस्या को कैसे हम संभालें, अमेरिकी सरकार ने कहा कि उस पर कुछ कीजिए। तो इसके बारे में हमें फिर से मिला है और मेरी जिम्मेदारी है कि उसको हम आगे करेंगे। तो ये सब कैसे हुआ, ये अकेले नहीं हुआ है। ये सब मुकेश जी और जो इंडियन अमेरिकन समुदाय है जो कि हम यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, ये सबसे ज़्यादा घनी बस्ती का भारतीय मूल के लोगों का है। और आप सबके प्रोत्साहन से, आप सबके सहयोग से ही ये सफलता मिल रही है और इसको और आगे बढ़ाना है। अगले महीने 20 और 21 तारीख को भारतीय कौंसल आवास में हम हिंदी सम्मेलन कर रहे हैं, वहाँ आप जरूर आइए। और मैं ज़्यादा तो नहीं कहूँगा, फिर कहीं मौका मिला तो बताऊँगा आपको। धन्यवाद।
I request Anil ji to come and Peter Kothari, you come. Rajiv ji आप आइए, Gulshan ji आप आइए, Dr. Sunil, you come also. And present this, Dr. Tarun Shah, why don't you come? And give this award. Yeah, please, yeah, come. Come. Peter.
हेमा जी आप भी जाइए।
क्या बात है, thank you, Ashok ji, thank you very much. And we are going to recognize one more person, not the Agodi, but he would like to recognize is one of our honorable guests tonight. So I give.
Adam ji, please honor Ashok ji with a shawl. Yes. As you all know, Adam ji is one of the famous media persons in New Jersey and a stalwart of the Indian American community. Thank you so much, Adam ji. One more person I would like to.
एक चीज कहना चाहूँगा।
Yes, please.
हिंदी तो हम सबकी नसों में घूम रही है। We are हिंदी और हिंदी को कोई भूल नहीं सकता। It joins us, diversity। और जो इन्होंने काम किया इनसे तो अभी ज़माने से बहुत अच्छी तरीके से इनसे मुलाकात है और जब ये कर रहे थे काम तो I was hating what he was doing। हिंदी है हम, वतन है हिंदुस्तान हमारा।
Thank you.
और अभी बहुत कुछ काम करना बाकी है।
One more person I would like to recognize for his wonderful work as a Rotarian. Thank you. Thank you. Is Rotary President from Parsippany, Santosh Peddi. Who would like to please call upon Santosh. Sir, please honor our Rotary President, Santosh. Anil ji. Thank you so much, sir. You are honoring me for the good work. Anil ji. Santosh is the president of Rotary. He does amazing humanitarian work, winter clothing, and drive. He does, he does a lot of charity work in Parsippany. We are very proud of him. No, please. No, we won't have any more speeches now. We will directly finish the speech with Shastri ji. Thank you.
So we would like to hear our main honorable chief guest tonight. Please come, Anil ji. Before I hand over mic to him, I would like to recognize a couple of people. Dr. Tarun Shah is with us. Dr. Sunil Parikh is with us. Gunjesh Desai, he is a media person. An event is happening, very famous in Nottingham, New Jersey, entire America. Gunjesh, Masala Junction, Arun Patel, Love and Joy Foundation, very humanitarian work we've been doing so long. Gulshan Chabra ji is with us. Mata Association just came in all the South Indian Association they belong to, but they are starting actually called Mata now. It started already, a new association from Telugu association. Both they are the founder. Among us, पूरा परिवार शास्त्री जी का परिवार इधर है, तो let's give a big hand for them. They flew from Connecticut, New York, and long distance. So we are so honored to have you. Thank you very much for coming and grace this occasion. Among us, as I said before, Dominic Sikvera with us, Vijay, all the founder member of Icona, and so many people there. There is another show going on, so they are there, so they may come late. So before I give this mic to Shastri ji, one of the person, our beloved Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, they gave the name Jai Jawan Jai Kishan. So no one knew like Gandhi ji was telling, everyone was telling that okay, Harijan, गांव में जाओ, काम करो, go on a grassroots, उनको जगाओ. लेकिन one person, he knew about the root of India, क्योंकि हमारा वो टाइम आज भी है, जो किसान है, वो पूरा इंडिया का highest percentage लोग किसान में है. So the person who actually gave the momentum and who brought to the awareness what is called India, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, और जो border, हम जब आज़ादी मिली, जब हमारा border was so weak and they wanted more division in India, like South India, East India, and the person who gave and give the encouragement to our Jawan, the person who was Lal Bahadur Shastri. So we are so fortunate and we are taking the blessings. उनकी जो positivity we feel today when you walked in, like हम ऐसे महान हस्ती को हमने देखा नहीं, लेकिन आपका दर्शन हो गया तो हमको लाल बहादुर शास्त्री का दर्शन हो गया सर. So I'm not taking much of your time. We would like to hear from Anil Shastri ji. Before I hand over to him, actually Ashok ji, he was a Hindi chairman for
chairman of Hindi department.
Hindi department of All India Congress. He was a chairman for Hindi.
I am
Bhasha. Still, he is a chairman. So, what a coincidence. You got the award today and we are encouraging the Hindi in this country. And to whom you are getting the award, we are honored and you are also honored. So, I'm not taking much of your time. Let's hear from, with a warm welcome, give a big hand, and we want to hear from Anil Shastri ji. Thank you very much.
Mukesh Bhai, Mr. Rand Dicapelli. At the outset, let me thank Icona for having invited me to this beautiful program this evening, which has given me an opportunity to meet all of you here and who have contributed immensely to this country, to the United States, and have also brought laurels to India. And the second reason that I would like to thank Icona is that they have given me an opportunity to meet some of my friends and close relatives living here. Junaid Qadi, Mr. Junaid Qadi, Junaid Bhai, I first met in 2012 when I was here, almost about 11 years ago, along with my wife Manju. And he took us around. I still remember that he took us to Washington, D.C. And on our way back, we came across Sandy, which, compelled me and my wife to be confined to the hotel we were living in. We were supposed to be here for 3 days, but that had to be extended by another 5 days because of Sandy. All the airports, JFK were closed, Air India had all suspended their flights. So we stayed another 5 days. It was a nice experience, good experience. There was a bit of struggle, no doubt, because we were confined to the hotel, we couldn't go out. All shops, restaurants were all closed. So we were somehow managing, and I think this we learned from my father, Lal Bahadur Shastri, who also had seen very, very difficult times, much more difficult times. He was born poor and he died poor. He died penniless. He lost his father when he was just 1.5 years old, whereas I was born to a minister, and when Lal Bahadur Shastri was a minister. So I was much better off than my father, but just because of his hard work, determination, great and personal integrity, that he rose to the highest office of India's Prime Minister. I am pretty sure that it is one stated determination, an individual's determination, is committed to the cause that he has undertaken, leads him or her to success. And that is, I think, one has got to remember. This is what I would like to say, to all of you that please tell your children, your friends, that whatever job, whatever work they have taken up or they wish to do, it should be with utmost commitment and passion. Because that is what is taught in Madament also. We have Professor Gurumurthy here, who is now going to be associated with our very prestigious institute named in Delhi, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. We have with us Rekha Bora, who's been a very, very old friend of ours. And I was delighted when she called me and said that you are here and she would like to see. I said the best place to meet is at the event organized by Akona. And when Professor Gurumurthy said that he would like to meet me while I am in New York, so I said the best place to meet me is at the Akona event. And when my sister's daughter, my niece, Anjali spoke to me, she said that, Uncle, I want to come and see you. Where do I come? I said the best place is Icona. So this is the event which has brought all these people together. Junaid Bhai also I called up and he said that, you please come here and we will meet. So it has given him an opportunity. Now, coming back to this event, coming back to your role as immigrants of Indian origin living in the United States, I am so happy. I was in Canada for about 5 days in Toronto. I was in San Francisco. I've been in the US for the last, US and Canada put together, been there for about 20 days. We are going back to India day after tomorrow to be on time for the birth anniversary celebrations of Lal Bahadur Shastri on 2nd October. As you know that Lal Bahadur Shastri was born on 2nd October and he shares his birthday with Mahatma Gandhi. And so I have got to be there by 1st so that I am there for the 2nd October function. So I've been here for, as I said, 20 days, and to the west I went for the first time to San Francisco and Los Angeles, and then I went to Toronto, and we have Mr. Jagdeep Sacha, who is the president of the Indian Overseas Congress. They had organized an event there, and then of course also similar events were organized in Los Angeles and also in Sam Buller organized in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And tomorrow is this program again in New York, being organized by the IOC President, Mohinder Singh Giljan. And I'll be there along with my wife tomorrow as well. And then day after I'm leaving. So I think, as I said, that the lesson that one can learn from not only Lal Bahadur Shastri, all those great leaders that we have had. India, I think we must all be proud. At least I am proud of the fact that I was born in India. And why I say so is that we have had leaders who are not only known in India but outside the country as well. And I give the example of Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, I find that, his statue is installed all over the country. But when I go to Tokyo, I find his statue there. When I go to Moscow, I find his statue there. When I go to New York, I find his statue there, also in Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. And even London has a statue of Mahatma Gandhi, against whom Mahatma Gandhi had fought. So it is very rare. We have had great leaders in the United States, great leaders in Russia and other parts of the world, but very rarely you will find people talking about or remembering leaders of other countries as much as they do for Mahatma Gandhi. And I think if Mahatma Gandhi, what he did was his known one, and he very succeeded was that he, as Mukesh Bhai said for Shastriji, he was a grounded person. He was totally aware of the roots of this country. He knew the people, and he knew that people, what they want and what they can do. He was against violence because he knew for sure that if he tried to fight the British, with violence, he will not succeed. So he took the path of peace. And there was nothing that the British could do, and then of course India got independence. And if you read Mahatma Gandhi's book, My Life, that he wrote, My Experiment with Truth, you will find many such anecdotes and incidents of his life which gives a big learning lesson to all those who have tried to understand Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Coming back to Shatiji was always, he followed the footsteps of Mahatma Gandhi, and he was simple, as I said, because he was born poor and he was totally grounded. He was, in the true sense, the son of the soil. And Mukesh Bhai talked about Jai Jawan Jai Kisan. Now, Jai Jawan Jai Kisan, the background is that in 1965, when we were fighting war with Pakistan, and I was still in school at that time, that he realized that if India has to be respected, if it has got to make a name for itself, it has to have an image of itself as an independent nation, it must be able to grow enough food for its people. And at the same time, it should be able to protect the borders of the country. उनका ऐसा मानना था अशोक भाई कि जो देश अपनी खुद की सुरक्षा नहीं कर सकता है, if a country cannot protect its borders, उसका कोई सम्मान नहीं करेगा. Nobody is going to respect somebody who cannot defend his borders. And he also believed कि जो देश अपने लोगों को खाना नहीं खिला सकता है, अनाज पैदा नहीं कर सकता है, उसका सम्मान कोई नहीं करेगा विश्व में. He was sure that a country which cannot feed its people, cannot grow enough food, cannot be respected. He decided that we will not go with a begging bowl to any country in the world for food. And he sowed the seeds of the Green Revolution, and Jai Jawan Jai Kisan came after that. He also sowed the seeds of the White Revolution. Sachiji went to Anand Amul factory, plant, when he was the Prime Minister, and there what happened, that he met Dr. Kurian. He was greatly impressed. Dr. Kurian was the chairman of Amul at that time, Dr. Varghese Kurian, Vijay Kurian. So we went there. He said he was so impressed. He told Dr. Kurian that I would want you to replicate this model in other parts of the country. And Dr. Kurian said, yes, I would not mind. I'll do whatever you want me. So he said, what do you want me to do? Dr. Kurian said that you have to constitute a board to take this forward. And that day itself, Shastriji constituted the National Dairy Development Board. And the National Dairy Board came into picture, and Shastriji after that said to Dr. Kurian that I would like you to be the chairman of this National Dairy Development Board. So Dr. Kurian said that I will accept this position on one condition, that the headquarters of National Dairy Development Board should be in Anand and not in Delhi. So he said, why do you say so? He said, I say so because people in Delhi don't work. And therefore, I would like to have it here. And the headquarters of NDDB was set up in Anand itself. And there is no milk shortage or food shortage in the country anymore. And so this is, he had this commitment for what he was wanting to do. He had risen from the ranks. Gandhiji united the country because he set the goal. In management it is taught that you set the goal. if you अपना अगर लक्ष्य आप तय कर देते हैं, if you set your goal, you give a particular target, it unites the people, and that is what happened at that time. I would once again like to thank ICONA and all those who have been involved in organizing this particular event, and I am grateful to Mr. Albert, after whose name this hall, this particular place has been done, and to everybody who have been associated with this and who are people behind organizing this event. I would like to acknowledge the work done by Ranjan Dichapalli as the founder of the Shastri Foundation here. And I am happy to inform you, I'm sure you must be knowing, that it was because of him that Lal Bahadur Shastri's picture, portrait rather, is installed at the permanent commission in New York. And so I think that's a good thing. And he is very close to Mr. Albert, also for the portrait of Shastriji in this particular hall. So I would only say, add to this, that let it not only be Lal Bahadur Shastri. I think all those from whom we derive inspiration, these pictures also should be there, because it inspires you. Like if you see Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, Maulana Azad, or great like John F. Kennedy inspires me a lot. I mean, in 1963 he died. I was in class 9 at that time, and I still remember my brother-in-law came in the morning. It was morning in India, New Delhi, and he said that he's been shot dead. And I felt very sorry, though I was in class 9. And he's been a source of inspiration. John Kennedy has been a source of inspiration. And there are so many others, not only Indian leaders outside the country. Business managers, Rusi Modi, for that matter, so many people, J.R.D. Tata, they've all been a source of inspiration. So John F. Kennedy, but I remember those words that he said, that they see things that are there and say why. I see things that never were and say why not. That, when I heard that, that really made a great impact upon me. So I think all such great men who inspire people across the globe, and the adults and the children, they should find a place in prominent places. And I'm sure that all of you who are present here, I know you have come from far off places. I would like to thank Rekha. Rekha has been coming from very far off place. So all of you, and I wish all the best. Thank you very much.
Not with your permission, can I ask a couple of things? If you can.
One thing I just want. Sure. No, you can keep standing. I forgot to mention any anecdote, personal anecdote. I think I should. It should be very unfair, because it's a lesson. It's a leadership. In fact, I have authored a book called Lal Bahadur Shastri Lessons in Leadership, and there's another book which I have edited, is Modern Thought Leaders. And very recently, I have also, which was released by the Vice President of India, Amar Chit Katha. Amar Chit Katha is cartoonist biopic on Shastriji. So this Lal Bahadur Shastri Lessons in Leadership was released by Dalai Lama in Delhi, and it is a collection of 72 anecdotes. 72 anecdotes which takes you through the life and times of Lal Bahadur Shastri. So I'll just, one anecdote, a personal anecdote between father and son. I would like to, so that you know that what kind of a father he was. One incident was that, as you know, in India, the driving license age is 18 years, unlike in the US where it is 16. So it was 18 years. When he became the Prime Minister, as I said, I was still in school. I was 16, and but I had on the quiet. I learned driving, because at that time Delhi roads did not have much traffic. So, quietly in the afternoon, my father would be away to office and my mother would take her afternoon nap. There was nobody at home. I would just take the keys and drive away, and quietly I learned driving. So after I learned driving and he became the Prime Minister, I asked one of his secretaries, Kailash Narayan. So I said, we used to call him Kailash Babu. I said, Kailash Babu, I want a driving license. He said that, do you know driving? I said, I know driving. So the license came to me in about 2 hours time. And that driving license with me. I felt very proud that, I was possessing a driving license, though I was not 18. That was the pride. It was not that I was possessing a license. I was very, very proud of the fact that I am possessing a license when I am not 18. I am still 16. And then, I said, well, let me show it to my father also, and he'll be very, very happy. And I waited for him until 10 o'clock in the night. When he came back from office, I went to him. He says, Anil, what's the problem? Don't you have school tomorrow? I said, I have. I said, but I want to show you something. And he said, what is it? Then I showed him that license. Instead of smiling, he became very, very serious. I mean, isko gambhir ho gaya. So I said that you are not happy. He said, I'm not happy. Rather, I'm very, very hurt today. I said, hurt? Why are you hurt? He said, you have got a license, you are not 18 as yet. So I said, but I'm the Prime Minister's son. He said, that doesn't give the license to you to own a license if you are not 18. And he said, why I'm hurt, Anil, is that, I make laws and ask the people to follow them. And in the precincts of the Prime Minister's house, the Prime Minister's son has flouted a rule, a law of the land. Now that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I had tears in my eyes. He said, why you have tears in your eyes? I haven't. I said, sir, Dad, if you had scolded me, you can slap me, I won't have felt bad. But the way that you have told me, this lesson I will remember all my life. And I have after that always tried to follow the rules and regulations as far as possible, but at times it is not practical to follow. I am being very frank. At times the laws, particularly the laws in India are not very practical to be followed for the simple reason that laws were made by the British for them to rule, and they have not been amended much. So that is there. And then of course he called his secretary Kailash Narayan and told him to return this license. And the second thing that I would tell you is that anecdote is that once he called, he was the Prime Minister at that time, he called me to his room. We have this culture in India, particularly our community, in the Hindu community, that elders, if on festivals or if you're going out of station, you're coming back home, you touch the feet of elders. So he's called me and said, Sunil Bhai, कि मैंने देखा, I have seen that when you touch the feet of elders, your hands do not go up to the feet, they go only up to the knees. So this is not correct. अब मैं तो उस समय young था, I was entering into youth and into an adult. So I wouldn't accept. I said, no, you might have seen it, my brothers. I have been touching the feet the way it should be. So I was arguing with him. But he did not get annoyed. He said, just stand up. And I stood up. And with all possible utmost respect, he bent and touched my feet. And he told me also that, if you have been touching the feet the way that I have shown you, then maybe, it was my mistake that I noticed it wrongly. But if not so, then you please try to learn the way that I have shown to you. And I was sobbing, and he told me this, and I still remember. And after that, I made it a point that whenever I would touch feet of elders. My hands go up to the feet. My sons also, they also have learned, they also do that. My daughters-in-law, they also, touch the feet. And so this is how, a father would teach or, train his children that, the message goes, the impact. So it all depends as to how you deal with a person. And everybody, a real manager or leader is he who knows how to manage a particular person. Every person, you can't have a flat leadership style. Every person has to be treated differently. And that is what Shastriji was known for, that even his adversaries had the highest possible regard for him. Morarji Desai used to say that my only political adversary is Lal Bahadur Shastri, and the only person who will come in the way of my becoming Prime Minister is Lal Bahadur Shastri. But then, whenever he needed advice, he would drive down to Lal Bahadur Shastri's house and take his advice. Shastriji once asked him, Morarji Bhai, you publicly say that I am your political adversary and I will come in the way of your becoming Prime Minister. But why do you come and seek advice from me? He says that you are an honest man. You are my political, but you are an honest man. Intellectually you are honest. I know if I come to you for advice, despite the fact that I am your political adversary, you will give me correct advice. You will not give me wrong advice. And that's why I trust you more than anybody who is very close to me. So this is the compliment that Morarji Bhai gave to Shastriji. Thank you. Sorry, I've taken more time than I should have.
Just one, if your willingness now to ask, being so much variety of your personality, work in Tata, work in Volta so many years, and degree of mechanical management. And we have seen in his speech, we heard that he cultivated the culture from their parents, and with his experience, the management, we saw it. So how do you see, I'm asking non-political question, but how do you see the India as going next 5-10 years?
See, economically, I will say that India has to grow, will grow, and there could be little ups and downs for political reasons, more so because of political reasons. But otherwise, India's economic growth will be on the high. And the reason for this is that in 1991, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was acknowledged by the President of the United States of America, earlier President of the United States of America, as one of the topmost economists in the world. So the seeds were sown in 1991 when he became the Prime Minister, Finance Minister, when he initiated economic reforms. And great economists also had said, and everybody would say that, and Professor Gurumurthy is also, he would also agree, that once you initiate economic reforms, there cannot be any going back. You can't go back. And so the process has been on, and the country has been going forward. And so economically, I see no problem in the years to come, next to 5 to 10 years. See, if you remember that when we had a recession all over the world, India was not affected much by that recession. One of the reasons was that our domestic consumption is very high. It was about 70% at that time, which means that whatever we were producing was being consumed domestically to the extent of 70%. And only 30% of exports was getting adversely affected. But in the case of China, they had great trouble with recession because in the case of China, as you might be knowing, 70% of what they produce in that country is exported, and only 30% is consumed within the country domestically. So China, therefore, at that time was in a bad shape, whereas India was not. So our consumption, domestic consumption is so high that whatever we produce, we don't depend much on exports, and that is how this recession did not affect, and it will not affect in the future as well. Because about 30 crore people, that is 300 million people, the middle class, they are as well off as any middle class people in a developed country. They are no way less. So their purchasing power is pretty high. Of course, the problem is that another 300 million people are below the low middle income or even the poverty level. They are having problems, and for that, because of the economy growing, there is so much of money in the economy that the government, whenever it wants, it gives large benefits and welfare schemes. They bring about welfare schemes for such people. And as you know, we had tsunami, and we have not taken aid for tsunami or any other natural calamity. Countries have offered, but India has never taken any aid from. Yes, we have taken loan. We have never taken loan for buying weapons for arms. We have bought it from our own money, and or we are producing in the country itself. As far as socially concerned, I'm talking politically, economically, and socially. Politically, socially, I don't think also much is going to change. It is going to be on the side of the better, because socially there is social awareness among the poorer class, among the weaker sections, and they know what is their right. They have understood that. So I don't think that there is going to be much of a problem, and the have-nots will get more than what they have been getting in the past. And the only problem that I foresee, and is difficult to predict, is the political situation 5 years or 10 years hence. And it is difficult to say that. I mean, said that it is not a political forum, so I don't want to say anything more on that. But I would surely say that politically, I don't know, there is an element of uncertainty. One example, of course, I'll give you. The present ruling dispensation is talking of one nation, one election. Now, this is not practical. I think it is, if you ask me, it is idiotic for the simple reason that, if all elections are held together, and let us say in one state, any state, whether it's Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, or Tamil Nadu, if the government falls after 1 year, you have elections for 5 years, after 1 year, the government falls for one reason. There could be dissident activity, or one alliance partner withdraws support and the government falls. Then what happens in the next 4 years? You cannot have president's rule. President's rule is only for 6 months. Then you have to keep on getting it ratified by the parliament every 6 months. So that's not possible. So that's a direct blow to democracy, to the democratic process. A direct blow to the democratic process. That if there's no election for 4 years, in that assembly. And even worse would be a situation when, let's say, the center, the government falls. It has happened in the past. It is not that it's for the first time. It happened in 1979 when the Janata government fell. Then again, when the Chandrasekhar government fell, and on one more occasion. So, if the central government falls, because now we all have alliances. So if there is no single party which has an absolute majority, and the government falls in the center, then what happens? Say after 1 year, if it falls, then what happens in the next 4 years? Who will rule India? Who will rule the country for the next 4 years? So it is not practical at all, and it's a direct blow, as I said, to the democratic process. So politically, I am not very sure, but I would say that things may not be very good if it is not checked.
Let's give a standing ovation to the Honorable Anil Bhai. Thank you very much. Thanks again from our bottom of our heart. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much, Anilji. As a distinguished guest today, you have really enlightened the ears of the history. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. And I'm fortunate to be here, that I'm a Jawan serving for United States Army. But going back to our roots, thank you very much for being here. And all the distinguished guests who are here, the physicians, in this hall today. And then our elected officials, Junaid, all the media people, legendaries like Rajiv ji, Adam ji, thank you very much for being here. And our Telugu leaders were here, Mata leading organization here, I think they left. And the family of the Shastri ji, thank you very much, Manju. And Rekha ji, I have to take you. So thank you very much, Icona, for making it happen, Ram and Mukesh Bhaiya, Rajendra, and Rotarian President Santosh, Vijaya ji, peacemaking. So thank you everyone for coming here. All right. Good night, drive safe back.
अभी एक बार मिल के आता हूँ।
दिनेश साहब इधर देखो।
एक बार देखो। मैं तो मिला ही नहीं। लेकिन ये गलत आप माही छोटी बेबी तो भाई बड़ी हो गई भाई शी इज इन द 11th grade now
When member of parliament, he knows. He was in other Shastri Vidyalaya.
Don't waste time. He has a long day, so he needs to rest also.
Somebody has to thank Rajendra Vishwali also. Such a good organizer. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.